So people are claiming that there were no illegal orders issued by Donald Trump and that therefore there's no reason to fear.
I was a military lawyer for 33 years. I was a prosecutor, defense attorney, and a military judge. And if you're listening to this program tonight, I find no evidence that President Trump or anyone in your chain of command has issued an unlawful order to you.
Cue the 60 Minutes interview with Mark Esper, who was Donald Trump's Secretary of Defense.
He's going to finally give a direct order to deploy paratroopers into the streets of Washington, D.C., and I'm thinking with weapons and bayonets. And this would be horrible.
What specifically was he suggesting that the U.S. military should do to these protesters?
He says, can't you just shoot them? Just shoot them in the legs or something. And he's suggesting that that's what we should do, that we should bring in the troops and shoot the protesters.
The commander-in-chief was suggesting that the U.S. military shoot protesters.
Yes, in the streets of our nation's capital. That's right.
And now let's hear Donald Trump's current Secretary of Defense in his current term answering a question by Senator Mazie Hirono about whether he would refuse such an illegal order as to pew-pew protesters.
In June of 2020, then President Trump directed former Secretary of Defense Mark Esper to shoot protesters in the legs in downtown D.C., an order Secretary Esper refused to comply with. Would you carry out such an order from President Trump?
Senator, I was in the Washington, D.C. National Guard unit that was in Lafayette Square during those
events. Would you carry out an order to shoot protesters in the legs?
I saw 50 Secret Service agents get injured by rioters trying to jump over the fence, set the church on fire, and destroy a statue.
That sounds to me that you will comply with such an order. You will shoot protesters in the leg.
Noting that Donald Trump has the military literally on the streets of American cities right now, armed with bullets in their weapons. And yet, some of y'all don't understand what these senators were doing their PSA for. You just don't want to understand. Because you're in a cult. Snap out of it, weirdos. And yeah, any other president would be impeached or removed for this kind of bullshit. But Trump, he's such a useful idiot to so many oligarchs and so many craven politicians. He gonna stay right there. Sad but true.
I'm TJ and this is Life Lessons. You know, I have to pray and ask for forgiveness daily for some of the thoughts of disdain I have for some people. You know, and I'm reminded again, as I'm going to say for those of you who are stuck on stupid, that 20 plus years ago during Hurricane Katrina, that General Honore had to remind the soldiers to quit pointing armed weapons at the citizens who were hungry and desperate and trying to feed their children. When the president at that time had spun it, looting just to be looting. No, they was hungry. And can Pete Hegseth just answer a damn question? Now, let me tell you something. I understand. They all do it. They all do it. They do. I can't stand it, period. But when we're talking about something as serious as that, and you can't answer a damn question, it's so important for you to be in part of the group that you'll sit there and not say, I will not employ my troops or these troops to follow unlawful orders. That was our answer, that you would. When you were in the National Guard, oh my God. And there's nothing wrong with the National Guard, because I was in the National Guard, I was in the reserve, and I was on active duty. But again, that's a whole nother, it chaps my hide out of all the qualified people to hold that job. He got it. And y'all want to talk about DEI, you better get the hell out of my face. Those are my thoughts. What do yours? Take that with you.